Hey everybody, what's up? It's Josh here, back with another Chiefs related video. And today I wanted to talk about expectations for new Chiefs RB Le'Veon Bell heading into the Chiefs matchup against the Jets. So, as everyone knows, Le'Veon Bell was with the Jets before he came over to the Chiefs after being released by them. And so this is going to be a big game because this is going to kind of be Le'Veon Bell's revenge game. At least that's the hope. But I think it will be because Andy Reid is one of those guys who always sets up his players to go out and make a statement or to break a record that they're close to. Like, for example, in 2018 when Mahomes was close to 5,000 yards and 50 TDs and Kelsey was close to the tight end receptions record or whatever it was. I forget. He had them play that last regular season game against the Raiders well after it was over, so Mahomes and Kelsey could go break their records. So I think that's one example that indicates that Andy Reid is going to set Le'Veon Bell up, and Andy Reid and the Chiefs front office have always liked Le'Veon Bell. They were reportedly interested in him multiple times back when he was a free agent and when his name was being thrown around in trade rumors. So I think we can expect to see a lot of opportunities for Bell in this game. And now that Le'Veon Bell has a week under his belt playing with this Chiefs team, I think we can see a ramp up in opportunities for him from the coaching staff. But going back to last week against the Denver Broncos, Le'Veon Bell had 6 attempts for 39 yards, which is very efficient, a 6.5 yards per carry, which was more than Clyde Edwards-Helaire in that game. Granted, Clyde Edwards-Helaire had more carries, so that's probably going to come down. But both of them got a nice split of carries. Now, Le'Veon Bell, as we know, is a safety valve in the passing game as well. That's one of his big traits. But he actually didn't have any receptions in the game, but they did have him run a couple routes where Mahomes probably should have looked his way. But he was open, and you know that he was probably going to take at least one of those for a touchdown. So I think those are positive signs, and those are good things considering that this is going to be his big revenge game. Because Le'Veon Bell, he's gotten a chance to run behind this offensive line. He's gotten a feel for it. The coaching staff has gotten a feel for how he plays still. You obviously saw he looked very rejuvenated, and he just looked excited to be here. And, you know, everyone was saying that, you know, Le'Veon Bell is washed. Le'Veon Bell is this and that. Le'Veon Bell had 2 rushes of nearly 20 yards in that game. In fact, Le'Veon Bell, in 264 rushing attempts with the Jets, had 1 rush go for 16 plus yards. 264 attempts, he had 1 go for 16 plus yards. Now with the Chiefs, his first rush of his Chiefs career went for 16 plus yards. And I think that just tells you how dysfunctional the New York Jets were. And Le'Veon Bell was one of the only playmakers they had. The Jets had a bottom 5 O-line. All they had to do was stack the box, and you know, there was no chance. He had no incentive to play hard for them. I've mentioned this multiple times now that when you play for a team as terrible as the Jets and as dysfunctional as the Jets with a head coach that no one likes, you know, players just don't have an incentive to play hard for them anymore. So now that Le'Veon Bell has kind of been freed from that dumpster fire, you can just tell he has an extra pep in his step when he's running, and he looked very, very good. But let's talk a little bit about Le'Veon Bell's matchup against the Jets in this game. So, as mentioned, obviously, Le'Veon Bell, the Jets are his former team. He went up against a lot of these guys in practice. So, that's a little bit of something that works against Le'Veon Bell in this matchup, is these guys know him a little bit. However, the Jets' rushing defense is 20th in the league, and they are currently allowing 125.6 rushing yards per game, which isn't great. On top of that, when you're a team like the Chiefs and you just have so many offensive weapons that you have to pay attention to, and if the passing game has the potential to get going quickly, well, then it really opens up running lanes. So that's where I think Le'Veon Bell is going to eat. Just the Jets will have too much on their hands, and that will open up things for Le'Veon Bell, especially in the passing game as well, because like I said, you got Mecole Hardman, you got Tyreek Hill, you got Travis Kelce. Le'Veon Bell is surely going to be open on a few plays. And I don't really think Adam Gase thinks highly of Le'Veon Bell. I think that was obvious when he was there. He did not ever want him there. So, do you think a coach as incompetent as Adam Gase is going to game plan around Le'Veon Bell, thinking that's going to be the key to winning the game? I don't think so. Like I said, I expect this to be the Le'Veon Bell game, and I think they're going to give him a lot of opportunities, and I think that's what the team wants to see. It's going to be something that gets the guys hyped up. It's going to be fun, especially when you add in the fact that Chiefs' offensive line has been playing a lot better. Their run blocking has taken a step forward with Daniel Kilgore and Nick Allegretti getting into that rotation on the offensive line. Mitchell Schwartz, I don't think he'll be back for this game, but I don't think it'll matter too much. I think Le'Veon Bell will have plenty holes to run through. I expect Le'Veon Bell to get more carries than Clyde in this game, and I think Le'Veon Bell will absolutely have double-digit carries in this game. If you're asking me, I would probably say he gets 12 to 15 carries in this game, somewhere around there, which is a pretty good number. Heck, it could even be more than that depending on how well he actually does. And you know what? I'm going to be real generous with my prediction. I think Le'Veon Bell will have at least 100 yards in this game and 2 touchdowns, one of them being a receiving touchdown. I think Le'Veon Bell is going to play with a certain fire in this game, with some extra motivation. He hated playing with the Jets, and you know he's ready to fire back at Adam Gase. He wants to show why he's still one of the most talented running backs in the league, and I think he will. So yeah, I think Le'Veon Bell goes for over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing, 1 receiving, and I think he also has about 20 yards receiving as well. Actually, scratch that, 30 yards. Yeah, so in total, Le'Veon Bell is going to have 130 scrimmage yards in the game. So yeah, that's my prediction. I don't know how realistic that actually is, but I would love to see that. But the thing is it's tangible. It's a tangible, like, that's something that you could see happening. Like, you couldn't make an argument that Darwin Thompson is going to run for 100 yards and have 2 touchdowns in the game, but like, I can definitely see Le'Veon Bell doing that against the Jets, absolutely. And I mentioned earlier about how these guys kind of know Le'Veon Bell because they were all teammates, so they kind of know Le'Veon Bell. Well, on the other hand, Le'Veon Bell knows these guys as well, so you could imagine that he knows some of their weaknesses too, because he went up against them every day at practice. I think Andy will keep Le'Veon fresh early on in the game, and then he's just going to start to pound the rock with him. I think Clyde will get carries early in the game, and they'll slowly start to go to Le'Veon Bell more to throw the Jets off. They're just going to throw a bunch of Clyde at him, and then that's when you're really going to see Le'Veon's carries start to pick up. Le'Veon Bell did considerably well in the last game, considering he only had a few days of practice with this team, and he still had to go through COVID protocol and everything, and he's just still getting acclimated. So yeah, I think this is going to be the Le'Veon Bell game. I'm really excited. I love Le'Veon Bell. He killed us for years, as Chiefs fans know, and I'm just glad he's here. So yeah, you guys, let me know what you think Le'Veon Bell's stat line will be for this game, and make sure to check out www.showmefootball.com for more content. Thanks, guys.